Hi, I'm Taylor Wyatt, better known as Y-Boy Online. Me and my buddy Nero Angeles watch a ton of movie trailers, and now we're trailer reactors and reviewers for FilmBook. Today we'll be watching, reacting, and reviewing Incredibles 2. Let's watch some stuff.
Behold the Underminer!
Watch after Jack. I thought we were gonna go.
You heard your mother, trampoline me. We meet again.
Superheroes are illegal.
We want to fight bad guys. It defines who I am.
We're not saying you have... What?
Someone on TV said it.
I was approached by this tycoon. Wants to talk about hero stuff.
Help me bring supers back into the sunlight. We need Elastigirl.
Bye, sweetie.
I'll watch the kids, no problem.
That's not the way you're supposed to do it, Dad. They want us to do it this
I don't
way.
know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math. Math is math. All over Dusseldorf. Duzzles are dozing. Their eyelids so heavy, they're drooping. Closing!
I couldn't have done this if you hadn't taken over so well.
I've got to succeed so she can succeed. So we can succeed.
I get it, Bob. What the? That is freaky.
But I can't keep giving him cookies. No biting a daddy.
Done properly, parenting is a heroic act. Done properly.
Meh.
Yeah?
It's not even that it's a bad trailer, but it looks like a lot of the same thing not only that we've already seen in the first film, but it also sort of feels like the first story. The idea that like the first movie was all about like he couldn't let go of the good old days.
Yeah, so he wanted the glory days back. And now,
But now it's like the same basic principle where it's like, oh, but I'll be the stay-at-home dad, so that like she could go have them.
yeah, so I want my glory days back from my wife this time. It definitely feels like a very bare bones at this moment. I feel there could be a lot of like family aspect that could like drive more of the emotional forefront of it, but I don't really feel that so far from this trailer. It feels very run-of-the-mill in a sense.
I think part of that might also come from the fact that they know that people will go see an Incredibles 2 because people have wanted a sequel to Incredibles since the first film anyways.
Yeah,
so
really.
I guarantee you there was probably the thought of, one, we don't really need to try anything. People will go see it regardless. And two, I wonder if the idea of putting the focus on Mrs. Incredible, I wonder if that's because Disney has always had more of a affinity for putting females into the main role.
Yeah, I can see you going that, especially with sort of the political climate that's around nowadays.
Yeah, and even though the last film for Incredibles, the whole setup was a family dynamic, I guess you could maybe argue a lot of it was Bob's character, and him trying to reclaim the glory days. But to me, I always felt like the first film felt like a family film, even though a lot of it was on him. And I'm not directly against the idea of it being on Miss Incredible. She's an awesome character in her own right. I really do think Helen's a cool character, but I can't help but think that because there's been so much time between the first one and this one, I don't know. I think I would have preferred if maybe the kids were grown up more and they were heroes and they were like coming to terms with being superheroes. Instead of it being like, oh, we're picking up where we left off. Man, it's been like, what, like 10, 15 years?
Yeah, I can definitely see the want for that, but at the same time, I do feel it can work this way as well. I just want The Incredibles 2 to still have that family dynamic to it. Right now, from the trailer, it's feeling just sort of like the Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible movie, with the kids sort of pushed back into sort of like almost like the three girls from Despicable Me sort of perspective. They're just basically challenges for Mr. Incredible to basically go through his character arc.
That kind of sucks, though, because like if you go back to the Despicable Me films, Margot and the other two are very... So, Margot, why do I remember Margot? Right, Miranda Cosgrove. Yeah, but like Margot and
The other two?
The other two, are really just there because, like, Gru has to deal with some crap. Otherwise, the movie would be too short. So they throw in some stuff for them to, like, basically become obstacles as opposed to narratively flow better. Whereas the first film had the whole thing of, like, Bob was a hero. You know, he was kind of almost like the Superman in a way.
Yeah, he's definitely.
No,
it's definitely the parallel for Superman.
Yeah, well, he's probably more of a parallel of, like, maybe Ben Grimm, considering they're clearly, like, the Fantastic Four. But, like, he was kind of like the Superman-esque character. He was the hero, like, everybody knew about. He was, like, the most famous one. He was the one that people talked to. Mm-hmm. And the idea was, like, you know, you were the top of your game. You were doing great. And then one incident, and now you have to do a 9-to-5 job, and you have to, like, raise a family. It's something he's not really accustomed to. And it's not that he resented his family in any way. It's just that he was so happy going out there and helping people. And, you know, he sees crimes being committed, and that upsets him. And that in and of itself is an interesting story. There's an interesting dichotomy and dynamic to play with.
Right.
With this, though, it just feels like... Okay, so it feels like you're almost going to just do kind of the same story, but maybe with, like, a twist. Like, just change it enough.
Yeah.
You know, keep it the same.
Yeah, and it has more of a focus on basically he wants to overcome Elastigirl in popularity, and he's gonna, like, do something stupid to basically try to win over on her. And then there's gonna be a sort of a fight between the two. Then the kids are gonna get involved, and then hopefully by the second or third act, they're just gonna come together and just like, we're the Incredibles again. Let's fight.
I'm pretty sure, from going off of this, that guy they were talking to about getting heroes back up in, like, the limelight. Calling it right now, it's probably going to be the bad guy.
Yeah, most likely.
I think it'll go one of two ways. It'll either be like Cars 3, where he's clearly written one way, and then somebody said, no, wait, we need a bad guy, and then he'll just become a jerk for no reason.
Yeah.
Or my second theory, right out of the gate, is he's going to be a droid created by Syndrome, who survived the first film.
That would be interesting, and definitely would be a nice little fan callback. I would say that's the more likely of the options because of Brad Bird in charge, but he's still, like, a very quality writer, not like the Cars 3 writers and all that, basically doing that non-plot twist at the end.
Yeah, which was just abysmal.
Well, I'm still looking forward to this. At the moment, I feel this is a little bit too much of a bare-bones trailer to really just see the scope of the whole thing. This is basically just sort of like if you just took the plot pitch from the IMDb page and basically made that into a trailer, and that's it.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to look in on this, and that's going to be coming out later this year.
I'm just, I gotta say, I am happy that they had the Underminer.
Yeah, you're definitely going to start out with that.
It's a shame because when you think about The Incredibles, just thinking about the first film.
Yeah.
If there was any Disney property that feels like it would translate really well to an animated series, it'd be this.
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
superheroes.
Yeah, and family animated comedies were, like, a huge thing around when The Incredibles actually originally came out.
Yeah, The Incredible, you know, you have shows like The Incredibles, you had Dinosaurs, Simpsons is still going on today, Family Guy is still going on today. I think, is Political Family Guy still on the air? The one with the guy...
American Dad, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it is. Like I wasn't even, like, talking about those sort of shows. I was talking about stuff like The Secret Saturdays, The X's and such, like those sort of, like, spy family sort of shows,
right.
which were popular for a time.
That was what, Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, The X's were Nickelodeon and Secret Saturdays were Cartoon Network.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. Like, you'd think this would have lent itself easy because it's like we got superheroes, we got the family dynamic, we can do various arcs, we could have colorful supervillains.
Yeah, and we've never seen anything of that. We might see something now with the advent of, like, Amazon Video, Netflix, and all those other, like, direct-to-video services now.
It's such a bummer because now I think about Kim Possible, right?
Right.
Wouldn't it have been cool to see Kim Possible crossover, like in an animated series for The Incredibles? Like, how cool would that have been?
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Because she's got all those colorful supervillain characters like Dr. Draken or like Motor Ed. And you know, The Incredibles, they sadly didn't really go into too many of the villains. You knew like Syndrome, my favorite, Bon Voyage.
Yeah.
Mostly because I'm a sucker for the pun. It's just so wonderfully goofy. And the Underminer. But it feels like The Incredibles is like, man, we could have had so many things come out of this. And then it's like, we had one good movie. And part of me feels like we should have just stayed there.
Yeah.
With one good movie. Now that Pixar has been on this track of making sequels, it feels kind of pointless. Because it's like, okay, Toy Story 1, good film. Toy Story 2, fine. I tend to kind of find it forgettable. Toy Story 3, alright, that's a nice capstone. Now they're like, Toy Story 4, we don't need this. We don't, just, you did a good full circle.
Yeah, it's a full circle story, and now we have the next movie. It just feels like unnecessary access now.
Right, and then it's like, what, what about, like, Monsters, Inc.? Oh, right, because the ending of that first film ends on, like, Boo older. No, let's go backwards to when they're in their college years. Why? I don't care how Mike and Sully became friends, because the drama of, like, will they become friends? Yes. Because I have a movie where they're clearly friends.
Yeah.
So who cares? It's a foregone conclusion. Move forward, not backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give Cars credit. At least they tried to do different things. They're terrible. But at least they tried.
Yeah.
Like this one, yeah, we can't say for certain, given how this is like a teaser, if it will or won't be. We're going to have to see. But as is, this felt very humdrum. This felt very dull. It felt like a lot of the same things. I am disappointed with the idea of like, oh, it sucks that maybe the kids could have been older. Maybe Jack could have been learning how to deal with his powers, learning how to control them. As is, it's like, I'm going to go see the movie because I like the first one a lot. I'd argue it's one of Pixar's best films. But seeing the trailer is like, okay, if I had never seen the first film and I just saw this trailer, there's like no fire like lit to go out and see it.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate for that.
Yeah. I definitely want to watch the first film again, though, now.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely watch it again. Thank you for watching and listening to our review and reaction, folks. Be sure to comment below and tell us your thoughts. Are you excited, skeptical, or fuming mad? Tell us in the comments below and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, if you want to go and find our work, go on to film-book.com and search for Taylor Wyatt. You can also find me and Nero on YouTube discussing and analyzing all sorts of animated movies and shows. Follow the link on screen or in the description below. Be sure to subscribe to us and follow our social. If you'd like to support FilmBook though and watch future reaction videos, consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming one of our patrons on Patreon. There's a link to our Patreon page in the description, or you can find us by going to patreon.com and typing in FilmBook. Until the next trailer, thank you and we'll see you then.